Hey friends, and welcome back to a series on studying effectively for GCSEs and A-levels, in which I will be going over everything I learnt about studying effectively in the last 5 years from beginning to end. In case you're new here, I'm a second year Cambridge student studying physics, and in the summer of 19 I achieved 4 stars at A-level in maths for maths, physics and chemistry. To quickly address a common misconception, if you think I went to a grammar school or had rich parents who hired tutors for me my entire life, then I'm afraid you're mistaken. Since I don't like talking about my background much, I left a quick question and answer section in the description down below for those of you who are interested. Anyways, the reason I'm making this series is because I find that studying related advice on YouTube is rather scattered across many different channels, and all that information generally isn't tied together in a cohesive picture like you would find in series, and in some cases the advice is just bad. Even at school, we are not really taught how to study effectively, and when we are often just given wrong or useless advice. Believe me, I've been to plenty of study workshops in secondary school and learned nothing valuable from them. As a result, we just end up doing what we feel like, which leads us to employ less effective techniques like rereading, mass practice, highlighting, summarization, and a bunch of others. Some of these techniques can lead us to mistake familiarity for recall and lead us to have unfounded confidence in our abilities. So in the coming videos, we will be learning about more effective strategies for studying and the system I use to go from first learning a piece of content in class to being able to answer pretty much any question on it. Unlike many other videos you find online, I won't spend half my videos comparing different color highlighters or all that nonsense because that's just a distraction from studying. I will be offering practical advice based on scientific evidence and my extensive experience in trying different things out. My intention is that if you're studying for GCSEs and A-levels, then this set of videos will cover about 90% of everything you will need to know. Sure, you could continue watching dozens of hours of videos that will cover the remaining 10%, but more often than not, it's unlikely to be helpful, so it's better to just start studying after watching the series. That said, I won't be covering videos on writing essays or learning languages, because quite frankly, I'm not too great at those things, so do watch videos by other YouTubers on that if you're into it. The series will be primarily based on my own experiences and a book called Make It Stick, which is an excellent book based on decades of research, and a few research review papers as well. Throughout the series, it should be clear whether I'm speaking from my own experience or from the research papers. For example, when I talk about my organization system, then I will be basing that on my experience of trying many different things out. For my experience-based advice, I would recommend trying it out, and if you find it works for you, then that's great. If not, then make some adjustments which may help it work for you. But if you find yourself getting nowhere with the system, then do try something else. Notice when your system is broken and if you find yourself always confused and never getting anything done, because that's a sign what you're doing now isn't working, in which case it means you have to try something new and hope that that works for you. Some things are just naturally hard to understand for everyone, but you should still be able to tell if you're making progress with your systems. As for the learning techniques based on scientific evidence that I will be talking about, if it doesn't work for you, then I would recommend finding out why and making it work for you, because extensive research has shown that these techniques are the most effective. Anyways, there will be a link to a playlist covering this whole series in the description down below. It will be quite long, but remember, what you learn in the next few hours will save you dozens or even hundreds of hours depending on whether you're at the start of year 10 or halfway through year 13. If anything, this series is a negative time investment, as you'll get more hours back that you save by studying than you put into watching the series. To stop you mindlessly watching the series and having it go in one ear and out the other, I would suggest taking notes. Whenever I explain something new to you, I would recommend putting your pen down, listening attentively, and after I finish explaining it, pause the video and take notes in your own words. Don't take notes whilst the video is playing, as you will become too focused on the process of taking notes and actually paying attention to what I'm saying, and will have to rewind too often. But obviously, I can't make you take notes, but do remember that you get as much out of the series as you put in. So when I'm doing a demonstration or going through a software or organization system, for example, then I would recommend following along at the parts at which you can. Ultimately, I hope that skills and techniques we're going to be learning about will allow you to achieve excellent results whilst giving you more time to do other things like playing games, watching YouTube, or hanging out with friends. If you enjoy the series and want to support me, then do subscribe and like the videos because that helps a lot. Do share it with any friends or family who you know are struggling with studying effectively, or any teachers for that matter. In my previous videos, some of you commented that you want to send me donations, to which I initially said no, but many of you insisted. And for those of you who really want to donate, then there's a link in the description for you to do so. Don't feel any obligation to do so, and do not donate if you're not in the financial position to do so. Anyways, that's it from me, and I'll see you in the next video.